You're actually pretty good at this, just not with anyone who matters, with people you don't care about, strangers, someone you'll never see again, whoever. You're easy, relaxed, funny sometimes without even trying. The conversation just goes somewhere on its own, and those are always the ones who end up liking you. But then someone actually matters, and something shifts. You're still there, still talking, still smiling, but part of you steps back and starts watching, checking, adjusting, wondering how you're coming across, whether that thing you just said landed right. And that's the exact moment it stops working. Not because you said the wrong thing, not because you're not attractive enough, because you stopped being a person and started being a performance. And people feel that. They always feel it, even when they have no idea why the conversation suddenly got a little strange. There are a few things happening when this falls apart, and they go deeper than nerves. I'm gonna show you what they actually are. The last one is the most uncomfortable. That one's about why you're doing this in the first place. If you leave before that, you'll miss the whole point. First thing. In the 1970s, psychologist Mark Snyder started studying something he called self-monitoring. The idea was simple. Some people in social situations constantly watch themselves from the outside. They're tracking how they're coming across, adjusting in real time, running a background process that never shuts off. How do I look? How did that land? What are they thinking of me right now? What he found was that high self-monitors are often seen as charming at first. They're adaptable, socially smooth, they know how to perform, but in anything that requires real intimacy, they fall apart because there's nobody actually home. You felt this from the other side. You're talking to someone and something's slightly off. They're saying the right things, but you don't feel seen. You feel assessed. That's self-monitoring. That's someone being so occupied with their own performance that they stopped actually being present with you. And the brutal part, when you're anxious around someone you like, that's exactly what you do to them. You disappear, not physically, but the part of you that makes you interesting, the part that's actually reacting and thinking and being real, that part checks out. And what's left is someone going through the motions while secretly auditioning. People feel that. They can't name it, but they feel it. Second thing, researchers have actually studied why people flirt, the real underlying reasons. The most common motive wasn't attraction, it wasn't even genuine interest in the other person, it was self-esteem. Most people flirt, at least partly, just to feel wanted, to confirm they're still desirable, to get the mirror to show them something good, which means the other person isn't really the point. They're the mirror, and somewhere in the conversation, people sense that. They can't put words to it usually, but the whole thing starts to feel like an audition, like there's a correct answer somewhere, and you're both pretending there isn't. That's why things feel heavy when they should feel easy. That's why you can say something completely fine, and it just doesn't land, because the words are fine, but the weight behind them is wrong. There's a need underneath everything. A low signal running the whole time that says, please confirm something for me. Attraction doesn't respond to that. It never has. Oscar Wilde said the essence of romance is uncertainty. Most people think that means play games, be mysterious, don't text back too fast. That's not what he meant. Uncertainty is attractive because it signals you're not desperate for a particular outcome, that you're genuinely okay either way. The moment someone needs it to go well, that signal disappears, and people feel it instantly, that current of anxiety underneath everything. The ones who seem effortless, they're not braver, not better looking, they just stop needing the person in front of them to confirm something about themselves. That's the whole difference. Third thing, think about someone you've met who was just easy to be around, not loud, not obviously charming, not doing anything you could point to and copy. Just genuinely easy. What they were actually doing, almost always, was being curious, not performing curiosity, not asking questions because that's what you're supposed to do. Actually interested in the other person as a human being worth understanding. And that does something that no technique can replicate. It reads as warmth, as presence, as the specific feeling of being actually seen, which is one of the rarest things in any interaction, and one of the things people are most hungry for without knowing it. Most people go into conversations trying to be interesting. The ones who are magnetic go in trying to be interested. There's a philosopher named Martin Buber who wrote about 2 ways of encountering another person. He called them I-it and I-thou. In I-it, the other person is an object, a means to an end, something you're using, even if gently, even if you like them, to get something you need. In I-thou, they're a full subject. You're actually meeting them. Most flirting, when it fails, is I-it. You're there, they're there. But you're really just talking to a version of yourself you're hoping they'll confirm. People can feel which one they're in. They always can. 4th thing, here's something nobody talks about. The version of you that's good at this, the relaxed one, the easy one, the one who's funny without trying, that version exists. You've seen it. It shows up reliably with people you don't care about, which means it's not a skill you're missing, it's access to something you already have. So why can't you get to it when it matters? Because the stakes changed. And when the stakes change, you stop being in the conversation and start managing it. You start trying to make something happen instead of just letting something happen. There's a concept in psychology called the observer effect. In physics, it means the act of measuring something changes it. In human behavior, it means the moment you start watching yourself, you change what you're doing. The self-consciousness is the interference. The conversation that works is the one where you forgot to check how it was going. Most people try to solve this by working on their confidence, reading about body language, memorizing lines, getting better material. None of that touches the actual problem, because the actual problem isn't a deficit, it's an interference. And you can't add your way out of interference. You have to remove something. What you have to remove is the need for it to go a certain way. That's harder than it sounds, but it's the only thing that actually works. Last one. You've been running a version of yourself in social situations for a long time now. Not consciously, but a managed version. One that adjusts depending on who's watching, performs slightly differently in different rooms, knows which parts to lead with and which parts to keep back. Most people do this. It's not a character flaw. It's just what happens when you care about how you're received. But here's the problem. After enough time, the managed version and the real version start to diverge. And then something strange happens. You start to lose track of which one is which. Machiavelli wrote something that's been misread for 500 years. People think he was talking about politics. He wasn't really. He was talking about perception. He said, everyone sees what you appear to be. Very few know what you really are. And the ones who only go by appearances, which is almost everyone, they're the ones who determine how your life actually goes. In flirting, this is everything, because the version of you that shows up when you're anxious, overly polished, slightly too careful, performing, that's the version people are actually meeting. And they're making a judgment about you based on that version, not the real one, not the one you'd prefer they saw. And here's what makes it darker. You probably don't know what that version looks like to other people. You've been inside it too long. You can't see it from the outside anymore. You just know that something feels off, that the conversation got heavy, that it didn't go the way you wanted, but you can't see the gap between who you think you're being and who they're actually experiencing. That gap is the whole problem. Not your looks, not your words, not your confidence levels, or your opening line, or whether you waited 3 days to text back. The gap between who you actually are and who shows up when it matters. So here's where this leaves you. The reason you're good at this with people you don't care about isn't luck. It's because with them, you're not monitoring, you're not performing, you're not needing it to go anywhere, you're just present, actually there. And that presence is what makes you attractive, not some technique you've been trying to learn. The whole game is just figuring out how to bring that same person into the room when the stakes are higher. That's not about courage. It's not about caring less. You can care. You're allowed to care. It's about catching yourself the moment you step outside the conversation and start watching it instead of having it. That microsecond where you shift from being to performing. Because the second you notice it, you can come back. And most people never learn to notice it at all. They just spend years working on the wrong thing. Better material, smoother delivery, a more polished version of the performance, while the whole time, the person they're performing for just wanted to meet someone real.